chief that's in charge of me, he's a CSCS, Carol. He couldn't be here today, but I did bring one of my assistants. This is OS2 Durden. He's going to be my clicker today. So the slides I'm going to be presenting are from the Ode Aware. And if anyone sat through that class, that was like 3.5 hours. So this is condensed down to about 15 minutes, give and take for participation. So me and my chief worked on this, so I think it's some important information, but we'll go through it. So what is alcohol? Kind of alcohol is. Don't just read the slides.
Alcohol? Alcohol is a beverage that helps you relax. I was ready.
Right. Okay, alcohol is a beverage that helps you relax. Okay, it lowers your inhibitions, makes you calmer. But it is a drug. But we treat it, do we treat it as a drug? No, like you said, we treat it as a comfort for relaxation or decompression. Alcohol is a food. When I was growing up, my mom told me that was her breakfast. So it had barley in her beers or whatever. I don't know. And also it's a toxin. I challenge anybody who knows that word. Acetaldehyde. So acetaldehyde is a colorless volatile liquid obtained by oxidizing ethanol. Alcohol is America's #1 drug of choice. Like you said, it's here for relaxation, but 5,000 people under the age of 21 die of alcohol-related incidents each year. 16 million people were classified with alcohol dependence or abuse. Alcohol-related problems strike 1 in 4 homes. On average, 1 person is killed in an alcohol-related crash every 45 minutes. 21.9% of people ages 21 to 25 drove drunk. 69.4% 12th graders have tried alcohol. 23.7% of 12th graders have had 5 drinks in one session. So those kids who could take a drink of daddy's beer or mommy's wine tried alcohol, and these are those stats. Did you know drink alcohol in large quantities poison the body? What is that known as? Alcohol poisoning. Binge drinking has decreased among military. Binge drinking has decreased among military personnel over the years. Why do you think?
We deglamorize it.
Okay. Say again?
That's a good answer. Deglamorized alcohol.
So most commands had like the ride share or ride along, Arrive Alive program. You can Uber and Lyft everywhere now. So those were back then, though, before taxi rides were just expensive. Uber is fairly cheap, and everybody actually uses them more than they did before. People who drink alcohol are more likely to use illicit drugs. Alcohol is always known as a gateway drug for anything, or something that if you are using drugs, people mask it with alcohol. So next slide. Alcohol is glamorized in media, TV, and movies, like I said. Drinking enhances friendships. You only see that on TV. People who drink are successful, happy, and attractive. Again, in movies only. And people have more fun when they drink. That's some myths. Being able to hold your liquor is macho. How many of y'all know that? Nobody want to be honest? I got it. Drunks and the crazy things they do are funny. Sometimes. Alcohol is a rite of passage. That's normally like when you turn 21, people start drinking. because they have to, but they really shouldn't. They do. Alcohol is harmless drugs and it can't hurt you. What's some other myths that you guys have heard before? You want to say something? Go ahead, tell me.
Like what?
Tell me a myth that you heard.
That you can't hold your liquor. I don't know.
Yeah,
You just hold your liquor.
alright.
You gotta hang it.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Next slide. Responsible drinking. Know your limit. Knowing when to say when is very important because that'll keep you out of trouble. You won't be out here getting ARIs, just doing unfavorable stuff that tarnishes your name. Set a drinking limit before you start. Keeping track of your drinking. And a good rule of thumb: 1 drink per hour, alternating with water or soda. That does not mean add water and soda to your drink. drink a cup of water, not a chaser, okay? Next slide. Cost of drinking. If you bought a case of beer every weekend, you'd spend about $780 per year. Going out for 6 beers per week costs about $100 a month or $1,200 a year. Now, if you buy in Hawaii, Hawaii has an inflation on the glass. It's like a 12% increase from the purchase of alcohol here because everything is imported. So those numbers vary. Next slide. Drink patterns. Safe drinking. You practice abstinence. You drink social. Kind of safe. Drinking problems. Alcohol. If you abuse alcohol, or you become alcohol dependent. We're going to talk about those things. So pattern of drinking and drink problems. Alcohol abuse is a choice, and it can be changed. Tell me about it. What do you think? How can you change your alcohol from alcohol being an alcohol abuser? How can you change that?
Setting boundaries for not drinking, or not being around people who drink
Okay.
all the time.
Okay. Change your friends. Okay. What else? Anybody else? No? Thanks. Okay. Alcohol dependence is a disease and it can be treated. So it can be treated as long as if you identify that you have a problem. Most alcoholics don't admit to your problem. Everybody thinks that, oh, okay. Everybody thinks that, okay, I can handle it because most people are functional. So what happens when you become unfunctional? Would you tell somebody? No, not a lot of people will. They'll just suffer in silence. I've had many cases so far where people self-refer themselves and they could have got help sooner rather than later, and they end up getting administrative discharge because it got bad and they were actual alcohol dependent and we could have helped them. So please use your DAPA. That's what we're here for. We're not here to get you in trouble at all. We're just here to help you, get you the resources that you need. Who should not drink? Nobody want to say? Okay. Anyone who will drive or engage in activities requiring skills. Pregnant women. Anyone in the substance recovery. Anyone using prescription medication, especially tranquilizers. And anyone under the age of 21. Next slide. Signs of a problem drinker. Someone who has a high tolerance, who gets blacked out drunk all the time, and they always have emotional problems, they suffer financially, they have family problems, they have health problems. Those are warning signs that you need to get help. incidents, DUIs, DWIs, someone who has multiple DUIs. Just know, if you got a DUI and you didn't report it, it will come back to you. So don't think that you can hide a DUI, especially here, you can, or anywhere in the Navy, you can. If you're always in fights, or you always have injuries like broken bones or black eyes, that means you have a problem. You should talk to someone. Blood alcohol content is a measure of the amount of alcohol in the blood, measured directly through testing blood or indirectly through breath, urine, or saliva. A percentage representing parts of alcohol to 1,000 parts of the blood of other blood components. So 0.05 BCA means 5 part alcohol to 1,000 parts of blood components. What if you had 0.08 BCA? What does that equate to? Same. Just change the number. Okay, next slide. BCA, BAC, and behaviors and safety issues. Strength-based enforcement local laws regarding DUIs and alcohol consumption. So 21 and above, you can have a BCA of 0.08. Know that. But, and if you're a commercial driver, BAC, 0.04. So that means if you hold a commercial license, regardless if you have a regular driver's license, as long as you have that endorsement on it and you get pulled up for driving, you cannot have anything above 0.04.
I'm gonna get a slight correction to that. I'm not gonna say the why on this, but there's a common misconception is that if you blow 0.08, you're good to go. That's wrong. If you blew 0.08 and you blow 0.04, that is you're legally intoxicated. You've now broken the law. As soon as it says 0.08, now you're drunk driving. So it's not, oh, I'm 0.08, I'm still good to go. It's no, 0.08, I'm now no longer good to go. Right. So 0.0777999999, yeah, you might be fine, but as soon as it says made on there, that's it.
Also, I don't know if it's bases or state regulations, but there are places where if you're in an accident, even if you're below 0.08, you can still be charged with DUI.
Next slide. Alright, maybe power. So now we're going to go over the instruction itself. So, why do we need an alcohol policy? Alcohol abuse impacts readiness. Alcohol abuse is a health and safety issue. Alcohol problems can be successfully treated. The image of the drunken sailor is no longer acceptable. This is our practice, alcohol policy. Responsible use at the right time, right place, and right quantity. No drinking and driving and no underage drinking. That is the Navy's policy. So OPNAT 350.4, alcohol shall not be consumed to the extent that it impairs rationale and full exercise of mental and physical faculties while on duty or in the performance of military duties. It reduces the sailor's dependability and reliability. It reflects the spread upon the sailor's personal or upon the Navy. Results in behavior that is in violation of the instruction or the usage.
That first one, impairs rational and full exercise, that doesn't mean just drinking on the job or drinking in the morning before you go to work. That includes if you get so drunk on Sunday night that you wake up Monday morning to go to work and you still feel a little out of it, that means you're still being impaired by alcohol, and that's not allowed. That's still breaking the UCMJ, right? So you need to regulate how exactly, that's part of that. It says regulate right time, right place, right quantity. If you're drinking so much alcohol that you go to sleep at night and you wake up 4 hours later, 6 hours later, and you still can't function, you've now broken UCMJ, you're now health rights.
Drinking during working hours. The Navy does not condone. The Navy does not condone the consumption of alcohol beverages during normal working hours. So don't think just because the myth is that if you drink the clear one, right, it's like odorless, that nobody can smell it. You can tell. You can tell. We can smell. Next slide. Limited exceptions. Commander CEOs and OICs may authorize consumption of alcohol beverages during normal working hours for official functions, ceremonies, and other infrequent command-sponsored events. So those are like your peers. If you pull in for it after 45 days, you normally have Still Beach picnics. Sometimes they have, well, you have always have like the Navy Ball, holiday party.
Yeah, the little command functions.
Yeah, command functions.
picnics, stuff like that.
Yeah. Command must emphasize personal responsibility. All military personnel are ultimately responsible for their own actions. So even though you're at all these functions where alcohol is authorized, you still have to be responsible while drinking at any of these functions. Underage drinkers. Underage drinking is against the law and the UCMJ. However, if an underage drinker self-refers because of a drinking problem, there is no penalty for the underage drinking, provided no other incidents occurred. So for this, if you had a problem and you were drinking, like say, most kids start drinking early in their life, right? So you come in and you still have that problem and you want to get help. That's saying that you can self-refer and let everybody know that you have an issue with drinking. Yes, you are underage, but because you self-referred and you didn't have an incident, it's saying that you won't be charged. However, you're still an underage drinker, so it's better to practice not drinking. But if you have an alcohol problem, don't hide it, get help. It's contradicting, but overall, we all ultimately want everybody to be safe and get the help that they want and need. We do not want to deter anyone from asking for help or referring someone for help before an incident occurs. Underage drinking is prohibited. Minimum age is 21 for all personnel. In foreign countries, naval installations must comply with legal age post-station. If no legal age exists, the minimum age shall be 21. I've seen that in like foreign ports. Some ports have like legal age as 18, but ultimately the CO would say 21. Did you know if you buy alcohol for a minor, you can face thousands of dollars in fines and jail time? Everybody knew that? Incident referrals. The individual who has an alcohol incident must be screened by the Drug and Alcohol Program Advisor and medical readiness of rank, regardless of rank or status, to determine what help is needed, if any. Cells may be referred to education, counseling, or treatment depending on the severity of the problem with alcohol. So at SARP, they have multiple steps. So you can go into SARP, say you have a problem, but you don't think that you're dependent, they'll just refer you to an impact class, which is like 5 days a week, and you just talk about your issues with alcohol. And they'll deem if you need to go up to like an outpatient treatment or inpatient treatment. They'll determine what severity level you are with alcohol.
So the other thing about the incident referral, so that's in the case where you've already been caught with like, you've already had a DUI, or you already showed up to work drunk, and you've been ECUJ'd for it. In those incidences, there are some commands who drop the ball and don't do their job and actually get you the help you need. The command is supposed to get you help, which means they're supposed to refer you to the DAPA. You're supposed to get referred to a treatment facility so that you can get help. Because an incident has already occurred, which shows the command that you cannot handle alcohol in those incidents. So the saying is that if for some reason the command drops the ball on you, it is still required of you to go and to see a DAPA. Even if you put that, it's still put on you, the sailor, to go get DAPA and go get help. Because if another incident occurs and you didn't get help, that's on you. That's not on the command for dropping the ball. So you need to make sure that you actually go and see somebody after you have this.
So, and also, if you have an incident, say you catch a DUI and then you call down and say, hey, I think I have a problem, and then you want to get help. That's not how that works. So before you get the DUI, before you get in the car and you say you have a problem, we can help you. But if you actually get in the car, get a DUI, and then call the DAPA, you're going to be an incident. You're going to be categorized as a command incident. self